Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Tom Mizzle. You watch my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of BET Presents the Encore Season 1, Episode 6, Divisions and Demons. Like I said, this episode was good, y'all. It was a little argument, but it wasn't too much argument towards the end. So it still gave us entertainment. It wasn't too much like last week. Last week was annoying. It was getting my nerves. But this week it was okay. I gotta say, yes, even though Felicia delivery is off, she was making a lot of sense, and I was on her side, but we'll get into that. But first, let me show you the ladies of the cast again, because usually I do that in my first, every time I do my review, I show the pictures of the ladies. But before that, please follow my social medias, y'all. Twitter is _grown, is in the ticker down below, and my Instagram, Mr. Grown on Instagram. I usually put a lot of other different reviews on, and I talk about different topics on that. So if you want to follow me more than YouTube, follow my Instagram. You can check that out. And also subscribe to my channel, y'all. I do other videos. I do catfish. I do this review. I do Love at the Lockup. I do Love at Marriage Huntsville, Favorite Fiance. I do a lot of other reviews as well. And I also do like a weekly lives on Sundays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So check me out, y'all. I also share my videos. So let's jump right into it. So let me show you the cast of the ladies. All right, so we have Nivea, Shamari, Pam, Keely, aka Broken Promises. Then we got Cherish, Twins, Fallon, Felicia. Then we have Aubrey O'Day from Danny Kane. Then we got Lamisha Eilish. Okay? All right, so the episode started when it ended last week. You know that big blowout when Felicia came down trying to confront Aubrey about thinking that she talk about her track when she wasn't talking about her track. And Misha was saying something to the twins and said how she not getting enough bars in the songs. Felicia said, no effort. You can take all my songs. You can take all my verses. You can sing everything. I'm done, whatever. I mean, that was all talk. They always say that. But she said, thank you. So Misha got at Pam and said, you sitting there and not saying nothing, and they trying to get my back on us. So she was saying that. So Pam said, so hold up. I really had to say nothing. I'm not getting involved in the middle of this like that. So Misha got on Pam for a little bit for not being vocal and speaking up of what their twins was doing last night. So that everybody was heated. Everybody was in their own moment. It was in the heat of the battle, right? So then Misha ended up apologizing to Pam because Pam and Misha was in the kitchen, and Pam was like washing dishes or something, and Misha was had a dress, and they said, "Oh, you looking good in that dress, girl." And all. So they're going back and forth, and then Misha said, "Well, I'm gonna apologize for last night." And Pam said, "You know, it's all good. It's all good. It's all about love. We sisters. I love you. We good. We family and stuff, and it's all right. It's cool." So Pam mentioned that she haven't seen her bandmates, the other people from Total, Kima and Keisha, for 4.5 to 5 years. And we get to why. We get to that later on. But she's mentioned that she's excited because we know that previous members of the girls group will be joining the listening party to give them feedback, to listen to what's going on. So I wanted to know who's going to come, right? So Pufferface Aubrey is not really excited about this project. She's not really excited about the listening party because she said we don't have a group sound. We don't really have a sound together. It's not finished. We don't have a lot of songs. It's just like unorganized. I try to organize the group. I try to make a vision. I try to know something like that because at the end of the truth, Aubrey out of all the girls has 2 #1 albums from their group. It's history. Like the first girl group that really had 2 #1 albums. So it's like she know what she's doing. She's part of the group that was successful, just like every other group was successful as well. But she knows some things and everything. And, you know, Aubrey came from a pop group. She wasn't more of an R&B. She had some R&B songs, but it was more of a popish group. So now she's in a super R&B group. Like she tries to bring some direction and stuff like that it can help the group. But you know, everybody want to listen to each other. Everybody got their own egos and all tripping things, and it's hard to really grasp everyone's opinions and stuff because people want to take control. People have their own opinions and stuff like that. So even though Aubrey brought a vision and direction that ladies were following, it still wasn't going to the pace, and people still resisted things. So I feel Aubrey in some sense, but at the same time, it's like, listen, hey, at some point you wasn't around, the girls were looking for you and stuff, and you checked out. So y'all, it's both sides kind of wrong a little bit. So ladies talk to Cedar. Cedar told them, so listen, I invite people in your previous thing to come around to listen to the party. So they gonna give you a constructive feedback. to really give you things, to really give you stuff to listen on and to work on it, to get your song together, gather your stuff together, and be there. And that's all I got. I'll see you next time, all right? So cool. So ladies at the studio are trying to finalize what are the tracks they're going to do because they're supposed to have 5 songs to like the people that listen party, but one song is not completed. So they have only 4 songs. Even though 4 songs they have is not really completed as well. So when they're looking at it, they realize some of the stuff Cosign has some of the stems and he took them. So if they couldn't really have to play the songs that they wanted to play because he took the stems, the music stems. So they had to call him to tell them to send it because they're supposed to be at the studio and he ain't supposed to take it with him. So he took it with him and not leave it at the studio. So now they can't work on that because he has it. So they have to call him to get it. So while they got that one, they were working on Boy's Eye View. And to be honest, Bird's Eye View Felicia version sounds great because it's the beat, it makes sound well and everything, and I like it. It did sound better. And Cosign version didn't really sound great. His version of Bird's Eye View didn't sound well. When you play Felicia track, it sounds way better, way better. Just like Go Don't Leave. And Fallon keep calling it Leave Don't Go, but it was Go Don't Leave. And she keeps saying that. I was like, where's Don't Leave? Not Leave Don't Go, it's Go Don't Leave. And Cosign had it. So he finally sent the thing. And they was looking at it. And they was like, hold up. Cosign version sound really effing dry. And let me tell you the truth, I felt the same way. It did sound dry. It sounded horrible. It didn't pop. It didn't move me. I said, what kind of dry is this? Like, it was dry. It was boring, basically. It was very boring. So they was introducing the people that was coming to the listening party. So they had Brandy for Black. Y'all know Brandy. She was the she was the dark skinned girl in the group, and she was like the second lead singer. It was Black Brandy. No, it was Shamari, Brandy, and Natina. And Natina died. That's the rapper of the group. And Shamar was the lead singer, and then Brandy was the second lead. And then Brandy was the dark skin, and she beautiful. Like, she came out, I said, oh God, she's still gorgeous till this day. I said, oh my God. Brandy was pretty. They all was pretty girls in the group. All stuff. Then they had Scorp Dizzle. I don't know who he is, but he's a producer. They had Mila for 702. I said, go ahead, look at Mila. It's a little 702 reunion. Okay. They had Stone, he's the owner of Icon Studios. They had Brandon N.J. I don't know what the hell that name was for. Brandon N.J. And he's a singer-songwriter. Oh, you know what? It just said Brandon. I said Brandon in it. It's Brandon. It sounds like it was Brandon in, but it's Brandon with an I instead of the O. J. Right? And then had Kima for Total. I said, I knew that because when I did my live this past Sunday, I said Kima and not Keisha probably would just Kima only, and Keisha probably won't show up. The last time when I had a bad reunion, I think it was only Pam and Kima. Keisha did not show up then. So it must be some bad blood why she don't want to show up and everything. So then we have Javon, who's an artist, and he's a artist-developer. Then we have Jazzy Faye, producer. I said, all right, Jazzy Faye. And then we have Ronnie DeVoe, Shamari's husband. He going to show out. He had the balloons, bags, gifts. I said, he going to show up for his wife. I love that. You better do that for Ronnie DeVoe. He going to show up for his wife. Hey, Shamari always big up her husband. Hey, do it. 15 years plus years together. That wedding anniversary and their 20 years life together. Come on now. Black love, right? Right? And Shamari's husband. Yeah, he was an artist in New Edition. So they said everybody's mingling and hugging and stuff like that. Nobody show up for Broken Promises. I mean, of course, nothing from Cheetah Girls or 3LW, they show up. Like, I would think that, like I said, I don't know how her relationship with the other Cheetah Girls is like that. Because I know Andrea, Raven Simone don't rock with her like that. Andrea Ballon don't like her like that. I don't know about the other girl, her name is Sabrina. I think they was cool, but I don't know. And Tutori's not coming around, so nobody show up for Broken Promises. But then she's a creative director, so she's not part of the singing group. And no one came from Aubrey, Pufferface Aubrey. And I would say, hopefully, I was like, damn, not even Shannon? Nobody for Danny K came? Like, I was like, because I said she was in the group with Shannon, and they was called Dumb Blonde. So I would think that she would have came, but nobody came for Puffin Face Orbit, and nobody came for Broken Promises. All right, and also no one came for the Cherish girls. You know, Cherish was in a group with sisters. It was all sisters. It was two twins, Felicia and Fallon, and then had the other two girls, Farrah and Neosha, and they didn't show up. So I said they understand. They ain't not surprised because they had other things, obligations, so they wasn't to be around. So I said okay, but Fallon said it's okay. My sister, who's right there with me, is right there, and that's who I wanted to be here, and she's here, so we don't have to worry about that. So Kima went up to Pam, and Pam was about to do this. I said, Pam, you better hug the girl. Like, what are you trying to want nobody touch you? She want to do this. And Kima said, no, give me a hug. So they hugged each other. It was a nice reunion. 2/3 of the group total. I wish Keisha was there, but she wasn't there. And basically, Kima's just upset that Pam just cut them off. Pam mentioned that, yes, while she left the group and she was on her journey because she had a different vision and stuff like that for herself, it wasn't for her anymore. And God had a different journey for her. So for 4.5 and 5 years, she just cut them off. Blocked their names from social media, cut them off, no contact with them, and just straight cut them off. So it hurt Kima because it's like, listen, as the group, we was friends. We had friendship. And I missed that. I wouldn't want to call you to see how you're doing, to check up on you and everything. But you just totally just cut her off of this. I ain't like that. It just hurt her. And I feel the same way. If I were part of the group with someone and we spent years together in a group and then we was close, not just as band members, and the fact you decided to leave and disband the group because you was a Beyonce of the group, whatever, or stuff, and I told everybody compared to Beyonce, and do I told them it was before Destiny Child? Because Destiny Child was like late 90s. They was early 90s. So I was like, y'all came before them, and everybody calling themselves the Beyonces of the group. So I was like, okay. So I do feel Kima in that way, that how Pam set it up. But Pam said, listen, and Kima also said something like this. She said, listen, you here forming a super group? At the super group, we was the super group. Like, how you go from there when we could still continue with our thing? Like, it hurt her because she want to continue the success as the trio. And it just hurt her. It's like, why you come here when we are a group of self and we want to continue? But since you left, you decide it just hurt the rest of us. So, and Pam said, even her family recognized how it was hurtful, painful that she just took a different path. And I understand why she didn't want to be in Total anymore, why she had to leave Total for her own self, her own reason, maybe her own different journey. Maybe she didn't want to do that path of singing anymore, or not just singing, but in that path at that time to leave singing, to work on herself. So it was hard. And she said, yes, it hurted people, but I had to do stuff for me. And keep understanding and stuff like that. But she did congratulate her about the gospel song that she wrote, because she said she appreciated that. She liked that. She enjoyed that song and said, you gotta have a gospel hit in your hand, girl. And I said, that's nice. So they started playing the songs, and they started playing Skeletons first. And they played Skeletons. After a few little hit lines in the beginning, they said, hold up, because the girls were standing there. Broken Promises introduces the group and see what did she do the group. I think she told them their name. Did she tell them their name? I think she said it. I think she said it or not. She introduced the group and said, welcome to our thing. This is the blueprint, all stuff. This is our song. I hope you give me constructive feedback. I'd like to hear you. Enjoy. And when they played the song Skeletons, they was all just standing around. And everybody, Ronnie, Eddie, the Jazzy fan, somebody said, hold on. What you doing? So then I said, hold up, it's not good. You start with the song in a few minutes in the beginning. That's not good. It's like, gosh, you're gonna stop everybody's song in the beginning, and you're gonna be here all day. This is the party. And she had me dying because I understand. I was like, yeah, I do feel the same way. It's like, damn, they stopped it that early. Is it really that bad? Because, but no, they said is that, listen, this y'all song, right? If y'all not hyped for your own song, or at least entertain your song, like sing your songs and theatric it out, like put theatrics to it, like sing it out and role play your song. How you gonna expect us to be excited if y'all not excited? Y'all just sitting there like, cause they was sitting there. like standing there, reading them, and they reaction to their own song. I said, no, sing it, dramatize it out. And so they said, okay, they started doing all that stuff. Now, meanwhile, Pufferface Aubrey was not feeling it. She was standing there. She checked out. Shamari realized, and she noticed that she checked out. It was Shamari or Nivea. I think it was Nivea. One of those two realized that Pufferface Aubrey checked out. I think it was Nivea. Checked out completely at the process. Like she didn't want to. She wasn't showing any faces. She wasn't smiling. And everything, all because she was balling. Like they didn't really have a group sound. They really had nothing. It's like it's nothing solidified, nothing really completed, and it's all that's the why is they scrambling to get things done, and it's not completely finished, and nobody want to listen to the direction that it was going to be going to. Because I know what I'm talking about, like so stuff. So yes, you have some thoughts and everything, but it's a group effort, y'all. Y'all have to work in a group. So. But Pufferface Aubrey was not feeling it at all. I said, I guess, girl, if you're not feeling it, I said, listen, if you're not feeling it and it's not in your own soul to continue to work on it, and it's not right for your spirit and your energy, then it must buy out and leave. You just got to buy out and leave. And that's what she eventually did. Pufferface Aubrey actually left the house. She just left. She just realized this is not for her anymore. It's too much. People don't want to listen. And this direction is not being there. It had it, but at the same time, it's not completed. And that's just not something I can't. I can't be attaching myself to something that I don't feel value for anymore. So she decided to leave. And you don't realize that Pufferface Aubrey was not in a promo picture. You know that little nice little Encore poster that Carlo King's posting around, and it had all the ladies in nice and black on, but Pufferface Aubrey was not on it. So it alludes to us as a viewers of saying that what's going on, because you know she doesn't really promote the show either. She wasn't promoting the show like other girls was doing. She's not really doing interviews like other girls is doing at the show. So it leads us to believe that Pufferface Aubrey left the show at some point, and this was the point that she left. So that was that. So after everything got said and done, and it was so poor Mila. I was reading people in the Twitter comments on Twitter that Mila was singing so much for the group that she just lost her voice because yeah, she did say that she partied a lot and she was home for a year and everything, and she wasn't using her voice. So that voice didn't sound like she lost it. She can't sing anymore because she can still sing. But I think her voice was that she was just screaming and partying so hard that your voice. You know when you're screaming so much and you hard, it's like, yeah. And actually, Mila was saying she was doing for a couple of days, so like that. So she was losing her voice, and now it's getting back. So you can see it straight. I said, "Oh, girl, Mila, what happened?" But she was still gorgeous as there. And Irish was discussing the group house drama when Misha and Mila was talking and had a little reunion, and they cried a little bit, hugging together. They said, "This is just go back memories and stuff." And to be surprising, Misha was the most vocal one, but Misha would say, "You know what? This is a positive experience. We had a good day. I'm not gonna rain on a parade. It did sound good. You didn't even know whose voice was not on the track and everything because it did sound blended well and all that stuff. Even only the people who know who's in the tracks is the people in the house." So Irish had a problem with that. She was like, "Listen, everybody sounds so good, but I only really have 4 lines. I don't feel valued. I don't feel appreciated. I just want to check out. I just like it because I'm just like ready to leave because it's not valuable for me because I'm not in a lot of lines." And I think Irish the one who said that. I think Irish the one who mentioned that Aubrey checked out and she's not feeling it. And she saw her and she was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" And then Irish feel like her say, "Wait, that she is getting the stuff that she deserved, and she's not getting the weight that she wants in the thing." But I was like, Irish, you and Misha don't really have the strongest voice at all, boo. So if you don't have the strongest voice, you're not gonna get a lot of lines. You're not. So work with that freaking Cinnamon who's hired as a vocal coach. No, you barely don't see her in this show. She only came 3 times. The first time she did a sit down and see where your voice is at. The second time she came and listened to a track and she's mentioned that Aubrey did sound off of Skeletons. And now the third time she came and she's just sitting there and listen to what they have. And that was like, come on, use her. She could work on it. And you got to work on your voice to be better. So, yes, you can't expect to have more lines if your voice is not well. But Misha said she gonna try to take it and sound well, and it's gotta do what's best was at the end. I said, all right, go ahead, Queen, do what you gotta do. All right, so that's that. So Aubrey left. She checked out and everything, and she completely gone. She took her bag. She took went in the van and skedaddle left. Right. So Broken Promises was like, hold up, I don't see Puffaface Aubrey. So what happened to Puffaface Aubrey? So she talked to Nivea. Nivea said, I don't know. I don't know. Did she really leave? What? Really? Because now Nivea's nervous for that because it's like now we have to work around things, we got to rearrange things, and maybe so nervous because what's going on? We like her, like she was part of it and everything. And then Nivea said, if anybody who should have left, it should have been me because I've never been in the group. And I thought I should have left a long time ago. Nivea said she probably would have left herself. But she said, no, I stuck around and I stick here because I enjoy it. She enjoy it, so like that. So she thought she would have left. But Aubrey left and she said she would stick around. So Puffaface Broken Promises asking everyone, do you see that? And everybody started knowing that Aubrey left. And Pam said, well, Puffaface Aubrey left? I said, wow, because she's invited to the group. Now, they brought all the ladies to this group for a reason. So whether they brought it for drama factor or not, they're part of the group, and because it's the reason why they're part of the group. So yes, Aubrey could have her ways, but she was in a good group. And she knows things. Even though she could be vocalized and stuff, she knows things. So yes, she could be part of the group to help things better. Her suggestions she made wasn't bad. It was sound suggestions. But at the same time, like she wasn't feeling it, so she left. So now the ladies had to work on the tracks again, cut her parts of the track, rearrange her vocal, not rearrange the words, but they had to take her vocals out, put someone else on the vocal, rearrange the sound and everything so it could fit the current group because Broken Promise is not in the group. So it was only left to 8 ladies. Now since Puffaface Aubrey left, now it's only left to 7 ladies to sing the track. And Broken Promise is still the creative director. And you know what's funny? Since Puffaface Aubrey left, Broken Promises has been stepping up. Now she's vocal. Now she's dictating things. Now she's saying things. Now she's getting ladies together and all that stuff. I said, where have you been all this time, Broken Promises? You had all this time to be there, and now you want to step up because Puffaface Aubrey left? Like, cause she had the pad on, she was getting ladies together. We're going to have to do this. We got to do this. Let's do this first. Let's do this next. We got to rearrange the voice. Everybody was on point. I said, all right, everybody listen to her now. So I said, I guess this is her time. This is her time that people started listening to Broken Promises. It was like this was the moment, right? Because people was listening to her because she was dictating and they was following directions. All right, and Fallon said Puffaface Aubrey left was dramatic. That's it. That's all she got to say about that. Now, Cosign, Cinnamon, and Leah came into the thing. Now, Felicia is bothered because Cosign hasn't really produced it, and he barely is in the house. And this is true because I thought that Elijah Cosign supposed to be writing everything and producing everything. But it doesn't stop. And they said it was there for some extra resources. They didn't have to use the people Elijah co-signed them to do it, to produce. The ladies could produce their songs themselves, but they have there to help them and all stuff. And the extra resources. That's what was told. So Twins has been doing a lot, and co-signs hasn't really been there, and it's true because they hasn't really been around for them to produce a song. So I would say, where they at? Because if they wasn't be writing and producing, why they haven't been writing and producing? They wrote that song, "Give It Away," which they just totally throw out. I don't know why they threw that song out. I don't know why they threw "Give It Away." I give it away, all my love to you. I like that song. I don't know why they threw that song out. Maybe they didn't like it, something like that. But that was a nice song to me. So they threw it out and said they straight up right on back told them Puffaface Aubrey left. So now we have to replace her vocals. We have to rearrange his vocals. We have to replace her vocals with someone else. We have to do a lot. So we got to get this thing done. So then the bird's eye view, it was Felicia's version. And Cosign heard it. He said, stop it. She said, excuse me, you don't stop no track. You don't respect me. That's disrespectful. And it played Cosign version. And to be honest, Cosign version didn't really sound all that great. It did sound like it was too loud for the song than Felicia's version. So Felicia was upset. She said, "Oh, cut the music." So what's going on? Because Shamar was dancing like that. I think Shamar was dancing to the song and not so much to the beat. Because Shamar, like the other ladies, did realize that Person I View version of Felicia version was better than co-sign version. They liked that. So, and Felicia was upset. Even like I said, even though I said her delivery was messed up, her wording and what her truth was behind things and what she was saying, it's true. Cosign barely be there. They was the one who mostly producing the thing because the other ladies wasn't producing and writing. So the twins was mostly producing. They have better versions. They know they have an ear to make sure the sounds is good, and it's good as was. Even though they could work as a group to make it better, but it was good on their version, not the co-sign version. Because the co-sign version sound boring and everything. So Costa had a lot to do, but he barely doing that. When he leaves the studio, he's like, that's all he does. Like you stop. That's no. So you only do your work when you're at the studio. No, you gotta continue to work. You gotta sample. You gotta rearrange the thing. You gotta finance the vocals. You gotta do a lot of things to the track to make it ready. And the tracks are not ready because they waiting on you producing and connecting the tracks together. And since they putting on the work, and then it's up to you to be finalizing it. You're not finalizing them tracks. It makes it hard for them to continue on because they're in a punch deadline and you're not doing your job. You half-assing it. And that's what they're saying. You half-ass. Even Shamar in the confessional said, yes, Coastar had a lot of work to do. You need to step it up and do something because you're not really doing much. And that's what Felicia said. Like, I've been a producer in this house. So he said, oh, no, I'm the producer in this house. She said, no, I'm the producer in this house. So Booker Mama said, no, she's the producer in this house. He said, no, he said, oh, no. Oh, relax. Oh, so Booker Mama says, don't tell a woman to relax. You know, I don't like that toxic masculinity because I said she had a flashback. She had a flashback. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes men could think they could control the woman in some way because the words was triggering. Sometimes when women argue or when they heated, so it's the worst you could tell them to calm down, to relax, and they would get them more hype. So yes, he was saying relax. Then he was saying shorty to Booker Promises and love, little condescending type of language that's like triggering. And I say, y'all, Consign, you gotta calm down with some of the words he was using because it is a triggering type of word and making agitated. And Broken Promise was speaking up, Felicia was speaking up. They said, you can leave, you can finish this because you're not being doing nothing. And that's how it is ended. And they're gonna continue on next week. Because now they was like, they look like they're gonna jump to Cosign and Cosign back in the corner. Aaliyah said, listen, he's part of the team, we gotta get things together, all that stuff. But I say, y'all, I don't know. But they barely in the house. So I can't fault the twins for saying that, listen, we doing stuff because y'all ain't really barely around. We didn't see Elijah wrote anything. What he wrote? Did he wrote Go Don't Leave? That's the only song he probably wrote. I don't know. But that was BET Presents the Encore, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. And I'll talk to y'all next week. All right? Peace.